Every secret tear you shed has been collected and turned into currency for your next season. If you believe your struggles were for nothing, you will remain stuck in the why. But today, I will show you how to map your past pain to your future purpose so you can finally move forward. My child, I saw the nights when your prayers seemed to hit the ceiling. I saw you lie awake, tracing old losses through your mind. I saw the moments when you wondered whether anything meaningful could grow from what happened. You kept functioning, but part of you remained trapped beside the pain. You smiled, answered messages, completed responsibilities, and helped others. Yet inside, you were still asking one question: was any of this worth surviving? Stay with me now. Before this message ends, I will show you how to gather what the pain taught you, release what still anchors you, and build a testimony map from sorrow toward purpose. You did not find this message by accident. The tears you hid were not invisible. The years you call lost are not beyond redemption. I am not asking you to celebrate what wounded you. I am asking you to see what I am creating from what could not destroy you. Listen carefully. Nothing surrendered to me remains meaningless. Write this beneath the message: my story is being redeemed. Do not write it because every memory feels peaceful. Write it because you are willing to believe the ending is still being written. Your declaration is not denial. It is permission for hope to enter the room where regret has been speaking. You have carried sorrow quietly for a long time. Some pain came from people you trusted. Some came through opportunities that disappeared without explanation. Some came through illness, financial pressure, family conflict, or plans that never became reality. You watched doors close after preparing for them. You gave your best and still experienced loss. You prayed with sincerity, yet the answer arrived differently than expected. That disappointment changed you. At first, you tried to remain hopeful. You told yourself there must be a reason. You repeated encouraging words while waiting for relief. But as the months passed, your questions became heavier. You stopped asking only, "When will this change?" You began asking, "Why did you allow me to care so deeply if I would lose it?" I heard that question. I was not offended by it. Your grief did not make you faithless. Your confusion did not remove you from my presence. You were trying to make sense of a story that seemed interrupted. You could not see how the pieces connected, so you assumed they never would. But I remember every piece. Scripture speaks of tears being kept in a bottle. That image matters because it reveals remembrance. Not one tear fell outside my attention. Not one trembling prayer dissolved into empty air. Not one night of endurance vanished without witness. You may have forgotten the exact date, but I remember the moment your strength nearly failed. I was there. I saw you sit in the car before entering the house. You needed several minutes to arrange your face. I saw you stand in the bathroom, running water to hide your crying. I saw you close your laptop after another rejection. I saw you check the account balance, then whisper that everything would somehow be okay. I saw you attend celebrations while grieving your own unanswered longing. People saw composure. I saw cost. You have wondered whether your pain mattered because nobody acknowledged it properly. Perhaps they minimized what happened. Perhaps they said you should move on. Perhaps they compared your sorrow to someone else's suffering. Their inability to understand made you question your own experience. Your pain was real. You do not need to exaggerate it. You also do not need to reduce it. Grief deserves honest language. Loss changes the inner landscape. It affects trust, sleep, concentration, appetite, energy, and expectation. You may have survived outwardly while losing a sense of safety inwardly. That is not weakness. Pause and place your hand over your heart. Notice what memory rises without forcing it. Do not chase every detail. Simply recognize the part of you that still feels left behind. Say quietly, "God, you saw me there." Let that truth settle deeper than explanation. The first thing I need you to understand is this: remembrance is not the same as captivity. I remember your tears because I honor your story, but I do not keep you trapped in the moment they fell. I hold the memory while leading you beyond it. There is more ahead. Your pain has tried to convince you that those years were empty. It points toward delay and calls it waste. It points toward heartbreak and calls it failure. It points toward survival and says you merely endured. But what if endurance was forming capacities you could not yet recognize? Stay with me here. Difficulty did not make everything good, yet difficulty revealed what comfort could not. It showed you where your strength came from. It exposed relationships built only around convenience. It clarified what you could no longer tolerate. It taught you which promises were dependable and which words lacked roots. The fire revealed substance. You have looked in the mirror and noticed the lines of worry. I see the gold being formed beneath the surface. Every disappointment that tried to break you became a chisel, removing what no longer belonged in your story. Some layers were people-pleasing. Some were false responsibility. Some were the belief that your worth depended on being needed. The process hurt. You had built parts of your identity around outcomes. You believed success would prove you were enough. You believed the relationship would prove you were chosen. You believed financial stability would prove you were safe. You believed recognition would prove your work mattered. Then the outcome changed. Suddenly, you did not only lose the thing, you lost the identity attached to it. That is why recovery took longer than people expected. You were not merely replacing a plan. You were discovering who you were without the plan. I met you there. The refiner's fire did not erase your humanity. It separated truth from attachment. It showed you that you could be disappointed without becoming worthless. You could be rejected without becoming unchosen. You could lose income without losing dignity. You could face betrayal without losing the capacity to love wisely. This strength was not loud. It appeared when you got out of bed again. It appeared when you made another call. It appeared when you asked for help. It appeared when you chose not to become cruel. It appeared when you kept your heart soft while strengthening your boundaries. That was formation. Ask yourself this question. If you had not survived that trial 3 years ago, would you be as strong as you are now? Do not romanticize the trial. Simply notice the strength that exists today. Notice the wisdom in your decisions. Notice how quickly you recognize unhealthy patterns. Notice the compassion you offer people who feel ashamed. You learned through living. You now understand that courage can tremble. You understand that grief can coexist with faith. You understand why exhausted people cannot always explain themselves. You understand that healing rarely moves in a straight line. These understandings are not small. They are part of your harvest. But there is another truth you have not seen. Resilience is not only what helped you survive, it is becoming a form of currency for your next season. I do not mean currency as payment for blessing. Your tears do not purchase my love. I mean that what you learn now carries value you can steward. Pain developed perception. You notice what others miss. You hear strain beneath someone's cheerful voice. You recognize fear behind anger. You can sit beside grief without rushing to fix it. You understand how shame silences people. You know the difference between advice and presence. This is empathy. Empathy is not weakness. It is strength that remembers what pain feels like. It allows you to help without standing above someone. It gives your words weight because they come from experience rather than theory. Your survival became language. One day, someone will tell you they feel forgotten. You will not offer them empty reassurance. You will remember the nights when you felt forgotten. You will speak with tenderness. You will say, I know this place, and it is not the end. Your story will become shelter. This does not mean every wound must become public. You are not required to display private pain for validation. Some testimonies are shared widely. Others shape how you parent, lead, serve, create, listen, and love. Purpose is not measured only by visibility. The hidden fruit still matters. Perhaps your pain will change how you treat employees. Perhaps it will shape the way you notice a struggling child. Perhaps it will help you build a safer home. Perhaps it will inspire a book, a support group, a business, a ministry, or one honest conversation. Do not underestimate one conversation. The enemy tried to use your history as an anchor. He wanted every memory to pull you backward. He wanted you to define new opportunities by old disappointments. He wanted caution to become isolation and grief to become identity. But heaven is using history differently. I am turning the anchor into a foundation. A foundation does not drag you backward. It supports what rises next. The same experience that once made you feel unstable can now teach you where stability must be built. Wait here. Type Redamed if you believe I am making all things new. Let the word mark your agreement. You are not calling the pain good. You are declaring that pain will not remain useless. Now I need to correct one pattern gently. You have been carrying regret as though regret proves responsibility. You replay decisions because you believe self-punishment might prevent future loss. You think, if I keep remembering what I did wrong, I will never repeat it. But regret can become an anchor. Healthy reflection teaches. Toxic regret accuses. Healthy reflection asks, what can I learn? Toxic regret says, I am the mistake. Healthy reflection creates one clear change. Toxic regret rehearses the past without producing movement. You have rehearsed enough. Some choices were made with limited information. Some were made while you were lonely, afraid, exhausted, or desperate for safety. Some were made because you trusted words that sounded sincere. You cannot judge your former self using wisdom gained afterward. Be compassionate toward who you were. You do not have to approve every choice. You can accept responsibility without rejecting yourself. You can apologize, repair what is possible, learn and continue. Repentance turns toward truth. Shame keeps staring at the ground. Lift your eyes. The past becomes useful when you extract wisdom without preserving condemnation. Ask what the experience taught you about your needs, boundaries, values, and patterns. Then release the sentence that says, you deserved endless punishment. You are still chosen. I will now give you a simple system for releasing the anchor. It has 3 movements. Name, separate, surrender. First, name the regret clearly. Do not use vague language like, I ruined everything. Name the actual choice or loss. I stayed after trust disappeared. I ignored my health. I spent from fear. I abandoned my own voice. Specific truth can be addressed. Vague shame cannot. Second, separate the lesson from the accusation. Write what the experience taught you. Then write what shame keeps saying. The lesson may be, I need consistent boundaries. The accusation may be, I cannot trust myself. Keep the lesson, reject the accusation. Third, surrender what cannot be changed. Tell me, I release the outcome I cannot rewrite. You may need to repeat this often. Surrender is not one emotional performance. It is the steady refusal to keep trying to control yesterday. Name. Separate. Surrender. Use this whenever old regret returns. You are not running from responsibility. You are refusing to confuse responsibility with permanent punishment. What comes next matters. Once the anchor loosens, you can map the testimony. This is the deliverable hidden inside the message. The testimony mapping system will help you connect past pain to present strength and future purpose. Take one sheet of paper. Draw 4 simple columns. Label them wound, survival, wisdom, service. Do not make it complicated. This is not a performance. It is a way to see the story more clearly. Under wound, name what happened. Keep it factual and brief. The relationship ended after betrayal. The business failed. I lived through illness. I lost someone I loved. I experienced years of financial pressure. Under survival, write what helped you continue. Perhaps prayer held you. Perhaps one person kept checking on you. Perhaps counseling gave language to your pain. Perhaps routine protected you. Perhaps you discovered that your body needed rest. Under wisdom, write what the season taught you. Maybe you learned to ask better questions. Maybe you learned that peace matters more than appearance. Maybe you learned that asking for help is strength. Maybe you learned that your identity cannot rest on another person's approval. Then comes service. Ask, how can this wisdom bless someone without reopening my wound? That final phrase matters. Purpose does not require self-abandonment. You can serve from healing, not from bleeding. You can share what is safe. You can set limits. You can let the fruit speak without exposing every root. Your service may be quiet. You may listen differently. You may create a resource. You may mentor one person. You may speak honestly with your children. You may stop a harmful pattern from reaching another generation. You may build a workplace where people feel respected. That is purpose. The map transforms memory from a maze into a pathway. It shows where you were wounded, how you survived, what you learned, and where that wisdom can flow. It does not erase grief. It gives grief direction. Breathe slowly. You are not a victim of what happened. You are not powerless before the future, but you are also not required to become the architect of everything alone. I remain the builder. You participate through honest choices, surrendered wisdom, and faithful movement. I am with you. Now let me restore your identity more deeply. Pain may have made you feel delayed. You watch others reaching milestones you once expected for yourself. You feel embarrassed by the time recovery required. You worry that your life is smaller because of what happened. Your timeline is not proof of failure. Some years were not visible growth. They were root work. You were learning to remain alive inside disappointment. You were rebuilding trust slowly. You were untangling worth from achievement. You were becoming less impressed by appearances and more anchored in truth. Roots are not wasted. The seed beneath dry ground appears inactive. Yet hidden work continues before the sprout becomes visible. Your quiet season may have looked empty to others. I was strengthening what could carry future growth. You are not behind. The golden flower does not apologize for the darkness that surrounded the seed. It carries evidence that life was working where nobody could see. Your next season will carry that same evidence. You will be steadier. You will not be easily seduced by urgency. You will recognize when peace is missing. You will value people who show consistency. You will stop begging closed doors to call you worthy. You will understand that some endings are protection, even when they first feel like rejection. This is multiplied restoration. I do not promise that every material loss returns in identical form. Restoration is often deeper than replacement. I restore time through wisdom that changes future decisions. I restore trust through relationships built on truth. I restore confidence through actions aligned with your values. I restore joy through freedom from old fear. Nothing is beyond my reach. The tears did not become currency because suffering earns reward. They became currency because surrendered pain developed capacities you can now invest. You can invest compassion. You can invest discernment. You can invest courage, patience, honesty, and presence. That investment creates harvest. If this message is strengthening you, subscribe and stay connected as we continue building your strength through truth. Do not stay from pressure. Stay because repeated truth helps the heart release old agreements and practice a new way forward. Now choose one part of your testimony map to complete today. Do not map your entire life at once. Choose one season. Give yourself 20 quiet minutes. Write without trying to sound wise. Honesty comes before meaning. Start with the wound, then write how you survived. This matters because you may have forgotten your own courage. You may remember only what happened, not what you did afterward. You kept going. You adapted. You reached for help. You protected something valuable. Honor that. Then write 3 truths you learned. Keep them concrete. I need rest before making major decisions. Consistency matters more than intensity. I can survive disappointment without abandoning myself. Finally, choose one service action. Send a message to someone struggling. Create one journal page. Offer 1 hour of support. Change one family pattern. Begin one project inspired by what you learned. Keep it small. Purpose usually begins with stewardship, not spectacle. You do not need thousands of listeners. You need one faithful expression of the wisdom you now carry. Before you ruck, I ask whether the action feels grounded or desperate. Grounded service comes from wholeness. Desperate service tries to make pain valuable by overgiving. You do not need to exhaust yourself to prove your testimony matters. Rest is part of redemption. Your future purpose will not require you to repeat your old self-abandonment. I am not leading you into another life built around carrying everyone. I am teaching you to serve with boundaries, rhythm, and peace. Listen carefully. The strongest testimony is not the loudest story. It is the life that no longer agrees with the lie. When you stop calling yourself forgotten, your life testifies. When you set a healthy boundary, your life testifies. When you choose peace over chaos, your life testifies. You are already speaking. Your healing becomes visible through how you live. You no longer chase what rejects you. You no longer interpret delay as abandonment. You no longer hide every need. You no longer remain silent to keep false peace. This is power. The past wanted to teach you that loss always wins. Your future will teach you that love, truth, and grace can rebuild what fear tried to bury. Not as a copy of yesterday, but as something rooted enough to survive tomorrow. There will still be tender days. A memory may return unexpectedly. A smell, date, place, or song may awaken grief. Do not call that failure. Healing does not mean you never remember. It means remembrance no longer controls your direction. Use the map again. Name the wound without becoming it. Remember how you survived. Carry the wisdom forward. Choose one act of service or self-respect. This is how your story keeps moving. You are not stuck in why. The question is changing. It is becoming, what can grow from this? It is becoming, what truth did I gain? It is becoming, who can I help without losing myself? Those questions create movement. I will not waste what you surrender. I will not discard the years you spent learning to breathe again. I will not overlook the quiet courage nobody applauded. I remember. One day you will look back and recognize a harvest. You will see people you love differently. You will see decisions shaped by wisdom. You will see doors you did not enter because discernment became stronger. You will see one person who survived because you understood their silence. That is harvest. The harvest may not arrive with noise. It may appear as peace in your home. It may appear as a child who feels safe with you. It may appear as work that reflects your values. It may appear as sleep returning after years of tension. Do not miss quiet restoration. You asked me to make all things new. Newness often begins inside interpretation. The facts may remain. The meaning changes. The pain no longer says, I was abandoned. It begins saying, I was held through what should have destroyed me. That is redemption. You will not worship the wound. You will honor the grace that carried you through it. You will not remain loyal to sorrow. You will remain loyal to truth. Your story belongs to me. There is one more part of the harvest you must understand. What you survived did not only change how you see pain, it changed what you are now able to protect. You can recognize when someone is disappearing inside responsibility. You can notice when a family keeps repeating the same silence. You can feel when a room needs gentleness instead of pressure. Use that awareness wisely. Do not turn discernment into control. You are not responsible for rescuing everyone from every lesson. You cannot force another person to heal because you recognize their wound. Offer presence, offer truth, offer help when it is welcomed, then release the outcome to me. Your compassion needs boundaries. Without boundaries, empathy becomes exhaustion. Without rest, service becomes another way to avoid your own heart. I am not redeeming your pain so you can spend the rest of your life proving it had value. Its value is already visible in the person you are becoming. Let yourself receive. Allow someone else to listen to you. Allow care to reach the places where you usually remain strong. Allow joy to enter without immediately asking what it will cost. You have practiced surviving long enough. I am teaching you how to live beyond survival. This may feel unfamiliar. Peace can feel empty after years of crisis. A quiet day may make your body search for danger. Do not mistake unfamiliar peace for impending loss. Sit inside the calm. Breathe without preparing for impact. Let your nervous system learn that safety can remain. The harvest includes rest. It includes laughter that does not feel disloyal to the past. It includes new memories that do not erase old ones. It includes mornings when your first thought is not what went wrong. It includes confidence returning without noise. These moments are holy. Do not overlook them because they seem ordinary. Restoration often arrives in ordinary forms. A peaceful meal, an honest conversation, a full night of sleep, a decision made without fear, a boundary kept without guilt. This is how new life appears. The dry ground does not become a garden in one afternoon. First comes one softened place, then one root, then one shoot reaching toward light. Honor each stage. Do not despise beginnings simply because they are small. I am growing something durable. You will not have to perform healing for anyone. You will not have to explain every scar. Your steadiness will speak. Your choices will speak. Your ability to remain soft without becoming unprotected will speak. That is a living testimony. The next message will address the exhaustion that comes after long survival. I will show you how to stop living in emergency mode after the emergency is ended. That layer matters because many people leave the crisis, but their bodies never receive permission to rest. Stay near. Before you leave, type Redimed once more. Let it become your agreement that no tear is wasted, no lesson is lost, and no surrendered chapter remains without purpose. You are not what happened. You are not the opportunity that disappeared. You are not the relationship that ended. You are not the mistake you regret. You are my beloved, still becoming. Every secret tear has been seen. Every silent prayer has been remembered. Every hidden act of endurance has been counted. The dry seed beneath your sorrow is not dead. It is opening. The first roots are already moving. Release the anchor. Keep the wisdom. Map the testimony. Share the harvest with healthy hands. I am not finished with your story. Nothing you lost was beyond my ability to redeem. Nothing you survived removed you from purpose. Nothing surrendered to me will remain wasted. Your tears are remembered. Your strength is rising. Your harvest is beginning.